my generation. Did you say shush? Gail, Gail, is it a secret? Okay, I like to call it out. Do you like where Karen and I moved the flags? Switched them back so that this could be right. You wouldn't remember.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's going to the House Committee. It's going to the House Committee. Karen, you got a good kick out of that one. Karen. Stand. Okay. Shirul Adonai Kol Haaretz.
Page 13.
Shirul Adonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God all the earth a new song. We will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shirul Adonai Kol Haaretz. Shirul Adonai Shir Chadash. We will sing unto God a new song.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am Rabbi Amy Morrison, joined on the bima by cantorial soloist Karen Pincus. And this evening, also joined on the bima by members of our adult choir. I'd like to thank Pat Seymour, who is accompanying us, and our singers, Jose Blanco, Barbara Block, Cy Bloom, Linda Datkow, Jeannie DeKeen, Mickey Angel Estefan Jr., Michael Perlman, and Elizabeth Weingrad. Also, I would like to thank Jose and Jeannie, who will be doing some of our drumming this evening, and also to our sound technician, Latin Grammy nominated winner, Maria Ayerbe. It's all legitimate, she really is. I wanted to also let you all know that this evening, as a part of Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month, JDIME, that we will have a special sermon giver that you can see Ginny Dixon's biography in your pamphlet, and I will read it later, but she is going to be speaking this evening, and then the photos on display in the Wolfson are all of her project, and they are unbelievable. So if you are new to Temple Israel first or second time, just raise your hand. I will not call on you to do anything. Welcome. And if you are a Board of Trustees member, I ask that you raise your hand. And let's make sure you guys get together. But the fact is we are all here for Shabbat. It does not matter why you are here or how you got here. It is that we are here and that we're here together. So I ask that you please turn off your cell phones or turn them to vibrate. This evening, our candles will be lit, our Shabbos candles will be lit by Dr. Susan Solman and Denise Radizak. And later in the service, our Ark will be opened by Todd Gordon. Todd is a board member of the Camp Coleman Camp Committee. He's going to be the incoming president. And just today, we had our 8th Temple Israel kids sign up for Camp Coleman this summer. So we are at a 700% increase from last summer, which is pretty incredible. Awesome. So I'm going to invite Susan and Denise to please come forward as the choir leads us in the song, Miriam's song, which you can find on page 342.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every strand and every thread she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances toward the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. When Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Woo. We are going to continue with lighting the Shabbat candles, which you can find in your prayer books on page 2.
אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light. So may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen.
Amen.
So now that we have welcomed in Shabbat, I'm going to ask you to please rise across the aisles, welcome each other as you wish each other a Shabbat Shalom.
Dance. Good job.
As you return to your seats, I invite the congregation to turn to page 20 and to be seated as we prepare for Lachadodi, the metaphoric welcoming of God to God's Sabbath bride. It is a custom, not a law, a custom that we face the back door at the last verse and that we bow at the back as if the bride was walking in to meet Shabbat, to meet God, Shabbat's bride. We join together in Lachadodi on page 20.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורי הוד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד. תפארת לי תהילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונהגי מכל חבריך מראש בקדם נפוחה סוף מחסה.
במחשבה תחילה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי שיר על הבייבי כבוד אדוני
עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Rise and face the back of the congregation if you are able.
ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה
We remain standing if we are able, and we turn to page 28 as we approach the Baruch Hu. The Baruch Hu is actually not our first prayer. It is actually not a prayer at all. It is a call to worship. And the first sentence said by the Shliach Tzibur, that person who is leading the service, which at this point is Karen, she will say the formula, although not the verbatim words, Baruch Hu ad Adonai Hamvorach, intimating to our congregation, are you guys ready to pray? And then she will bow. And in response to her asking on our behalf, we say the following line, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed, and in saying that, we bow back. So really, you are supposed to bow only once during the Baruch Hu, and I will join with you, bow the second time. So we continue now on page 28.
Yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai, yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai,
I would like to call up Fiona Fra, who is our recent bat mitzvah, and I'd like to ask the congregation to turn in your programs, I'm looking for it, for a prayer that our religious school students wrote when they were learning with Karen about the main themes of our service. So it is, I think, second to last page. Let's see. Maybe it got cut out this week. Tell me where. Fourth page, amazing. Fiona, if you will read on behalf of our religious school students.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives birth to the new generation and the universe, who creates the sun, the moon, and the Torah, who creates our past and writes our future, who gives us our family and friends, who gives us the things we celebrate, and who gives us the chance to do good and correct the bad. Blessed are you, Adonai, who protects us and helps us through our lives.
Amazing. So our kids wrote that. They wrote it all on their own, and they found the inspiration from looking at the entire prayer service on Shabbat and taking the themes that spoke to them. So thank you, Fiona. We are going to continue on page 32 with the singing of Ahavat Olam, the prayers that prepare us as we enter into Shema and her blessings.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Alekeinu Adonai Eloheinu v'shokbenu uvkumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. אהבתך אל תסיר ממילא עולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. אוהב עמו ישראל.
As we prepare to begin the Shema on pages 34 and 35, we're reminded by our liturgists that the four corners of our talitot, the tzitzit, the braided section, that when you add up all the knots and all of the twists and ties, it equals 613. 613 are also the number of commandments listed in the Torah, the number of mitzvot. And so as we prepare for the Shema, one of our huge declarations, our main declaration of God's oneness, we're to gather all four tzitzit in one hand and to place them upon our lips, to kiss them and to keep them there for the duration of the Shema. So I'd like to invite up Reagan and Haley, who are going to lead us in the Shema, and I invite the congregation, if you are able, to please rise and join us on pages 34 and 35. If it's your custom, we continue with Thou Shalt Love on page 36, an interpretation of the Ve'ahavta.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words which I command thee on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and where thou liest down, and where thou liest down. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember
as we sing those very important words, I ask the congregation, where does the Ve'ahavta live amongst us? It's a very practical question. Where do we see the Ve'ahavta within our Jewish daily lives? What is it? Definitely in the mezuzah. So when we walk past a mezuzah, inside of there are the Shema and Ve'ahavta together. And in fact, the reason you kiss the mezuzah when you walk past it is not just to respect, but it's a piece of Torah is inside of the mezuzah. A kosher scroll is inside of the mezuzah. It's a mini Torah, essentially. And if we were doing a hakafah, walk around the sanctuary with the Torah, most of you would not let it pass without you acknowledging that you're passing it. And that's the same reason that we kiss a mezuzah, is that there's a little teeny Torah inside of there. Where else do we have the Ve'ahavta in our lives? Huh? Doug? Tefillin. So tefillin, the box that you see some people wrap around their head with the leather and on their arms. It says right in the prayer, you shall place it between your eyes and on your arm. It's talking about that inside of those boxes also a kosher scroll with the Shema Ve'ahavta are slipped into that, exactly. Where else is the Shema and the Ve'ahavta? Which really is just the Shema. We separate them by different names, but it is just the Shema. Avi? Inside our thoughts, hearts, and actions, exactly. That we become, if you want to say the tefillin or the mezuzah, within ourselves, we have these words. You shall love the Lord your God with all your mind, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your being. Exactly. Anywhere else? Yes, Yvonne. You said teaching our children, right? Yes. So it is not just nice that Jewish people teach their children. We are commanded. In fact, it is one of the only faith-based religions, I guess they're all kind of faith-based religions, but it's one of the religions that really puts it forward that it is our commandment to teach our children, that is the way in which we've existed for 5,000 years, is passing it on, Lador Vador, from generation to generation. Look in the words that we just sang. Let's see. Love God with all your heart. That's what Avi said, the soul and the might. These words which I command you shall be in your heart. We got that paragraph. Teach them to your children. Yvonne got that one. Speak of them when we sit in our house, when we walk by the way, and when we lie down and rise up. When are we supposed to traditionally say the Shema? Exactly. We have services traditionally, not at Temple Israel, or most places 3 times. So when we lie down and when we rise up, those are the prayers we are supposed to say. Thou shalt bind them as a sign upon your hand, and let them be a frontlet, a symbol between your eyes, exactly what Doug said. And you should write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, a mezuzah, that you may remember and do all of my commandments and be holy unto your God, for I am God, your God. What is that phrase from? The 10 Commandments. We do all of these things, all of these mitzvot, all of these symbols to remind ourselves that God is one. And that really is what Shema and Ve'ahavta are about, that God is one. And so this prayer, when we look at it in English, is a great opportunity to see exactly what we're saying when we're chanting it in Hebrew. It tells us exactly where we need to have the Ve'ahavta. Where is the last place that you say the Ve'ahavta as a Jewish person? On your deathbed. Jim, is that what you're going to say? Yes. The last words we utter are the Shema. And in fact, when someone chooses Judaism, those are the first words we have them utter once they are standing in front of the open ark. We place the Torah in their arms, and they lovingly say the words of the Shema. It is as if their Jewish life begins then, and then when our lives end, we also say it. There is a whole lot of places to remind ourselves of how unified we are, and that is not just as Jews, that is as humanity. So as we continue with this idea of our gratitude for us being one in the shelter of our community, we turn to page 42 as we give thanks for this sheltering community with the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Mehamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim.
Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust.
Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain.
Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
We continue on page 46 as we begin Ha'amidah. It is called the standing prayer, and yet especially it calls to my attention on this Shabbat that is not what all are able to physically do. And so when we were at Biennial in Chicago, the phrase was used, may we rise in body and spirit and in mind and in spirit. And so I invite our congregation, however you are able to rise in body, mind, and spirit, that you do so as we turn to page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chazdei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofeh cholim, umatir azorim, umekayem be'emunato lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melech, melech memit, umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanat le'achayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Kadosh.
You may be seated as we turn to page 58. Still very much a part of our Amidah, the blessings of the Amidah, we turn to a prayer of gratitude. Modima Nachnu Lach reminds us that although we should be grateful all day for so many things, including waking up this morning, if we must be reminded, this is the time to be reminded. So I ask the congregation, if you are grateful for something, that you offer that forward so that we can join you in celebrating that gratitude. So does anybody have something that they are grateful for? Yes, Reagan. Your father. Amazing. Haley. Friends and family, for sure. Yes, Susan. The wheelchair lift. Thank you. Yes, I also am grateful for that. Yes, Fiona. I can't hear you, Mama? Your mom. Yeah. Yes, and for Karen. Good teachers and friends. Absolutely. Yes, Helen. Son lives close. You are blessed with that. Reagan, the second time. Let's do it. I am grateful, and so is Karen, that Reagan is finally going to Sunday school and will get a bar mitzvah date soon. Yes. We are grateful for that. Yes, please. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I was Gail's first phone call at 8:11 this morning, I think. Yes, I do think so. Happy birthday. Yes, please, Jim. The choir so beautifully adding to our congregation from up here. Absolutely. Yes, Lee. Thank you. It's a tribute to her for sure. Thank you. Yes, Ellen. They are beautiful flowers. Also, tonight's oneg, I'd be remiss if I did not say that tonight's oneg is in honor of Miria Thomas, of your mother, of her passing. So thank you so much for bringing her memory into our midst this evening as well. There's so much to be grateful for, and so we say, Modima Nachnu Lach. God, will you continue to bless us with your gratitude, and may we continue to bless you with our gratitude as well. Amen.
Amen.
We will be hearing a beautiful Oseh Shalom that is bringing to mind this idea that we must pray for peace, and not just peace in this world, which so badly needs it, but peace in our hearts as well, and peace in our families and in our homes. And may we bring this peace into this world, Akshav, now. Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom. Bimromav. Oseh Shalom. Bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bin Romav. Oh, say shalom. Bin Romav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Alleluia. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimro Bav. Hu Yaseh, Hu Yaseh, Hu Yaseh Shalom. Hu Yaseh, Hu Yaseh, Hu Yaseh Shalom. Hu Yaseh, Hu Yaseh, Hu Yaseh Shalom. Alleluia.
We take a few moments, and I ask you to close your prayer books. We spoke with the religious school kids this week. We pick a prayer every week to really concentrate on, and this week Karen and I spoke about Tefillat Halev, the prayer of the heart, which is this prayer. Our liturgists were very fabulous writers and thinkers and prayers, we assume, and they wrote really beautiful prayer books, and yet they understood that Judaism was never supposed to be fixed in a prayer book. The words were never supposed to be given to us. And so Tefillat Halev, silent meditation, is not just for Reform Jews. It is something you will find in Orthodox prayer books, conservative prayer books, and Reform, and the whole gamut in between. The idea is that the words that we want to speak may never be captured by someone else, that they are fully and entirely within our own hearts and our own minds. So as you close your prayer books, I invite you to take some time to pray those words as we take some time for silent meditation.
Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash.
One of the first things that I did when I came to Temple Israel to really stir everybody up and get everyone agitated was to say that we needed to fill the loophole which allowed synagogues, churches, and mosques not to have their sacred space handicap accessible, wheelchair accessible. We have an opening where we do not need to be accessible. What is the ADA accessible, sorry. But I said that I really felt that and feel that is completely unacceptable. For a synagogue, especially like Temple Israel, that is all about acceptance, that we would have any space, particularly our sacred space, that would not be accessible to more people. So we quickly got the money together and were able to bring this lift in. And even with how important and how beautiful this lift is, it still is something that we feel is underutilized and hope that it will be more utilized. And so this Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Shabbat and month is something that is done internationally within the Reform movement. And we had these lofty goals that by this Shabbat we were going to have screens and interpreters and we were going to be able to have Bluetooth that would go right into people's cochlear implants and all of this, and we will. I really believe that. But we have this, and we have this Shabbat. And it is really in much part to Dr. Susan Solman and your vision and joining your vision with mine and the board. And it is just the first step, and this is just the first of this kind of Shabbat. Obviously, there are many types of abilities or differing abilities within our Jewish community, and this is not limited to physical. And so we hope that as the years go on, that the Shabbatot address many different types of differing abilities. This month, this year, we have chosen to look at physical disabilities, and in doing so, have put together not only, and I'll speak about Ginny in a moment, not only this evening's speaker, but tomorrow night as well, beginning at 7:30, we will have a Havdalah service followed by a movie screening and a panel discussion of 6 different panelists, which you can find in our program, that have to do with accessibility, differing abilities, and advocacy within our community, many of whom are Jewish. And it is just the first, and lots of food, a enhanced Oneg-style food, which I know includes Michael Meltzer's brie, per my request. And there is no fee, and it is being fully underwritten, and I hope that you will join us and that others you know will join us. We will also be turning 2 full rows in the parking lot into handicap-accessible parking so that we can try to really be as inclusive as we know how to be. There's many places where I don't know how to be more inclusive, and I look to you, our congregation, to bring my attention to those ways in which we can be more accessible, and to our Board of Trustees, and also to Scott Brockman, our Executive Director. It's very hard for a rabbi to turn over her microphone, her bima, but I am happy to do so this evening. Ginny Dixon, as you can see within your program, has so much that I could say about her. But what I want her to say are her words. She is here. She has spent most of her 30 years making, I think it's taking pictures at major newspapers and national and international magazines. And it says that she is a member of 2 Pulitzer Prize-winning staffs, both at the Los Angeles Times, the LA Times, and also the Sun Sentinel in Fort Lauderdale. She is an incredible woman. This is, can only be spoken from her mouth. She's very humble, will not say that she's an incredible woman, but I am happy to say so. And I hope that as you join us in the Wolfson after services, you will see the gorgeous liturgy put in photography on the walls, because that truly is what is happening. There are prayers being spoken through this photography. So I'd like to invite Ginny Dixon up to speak her words, and we will hear what she has to share. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Pretty great introduction. Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight, and thanks for having me here tonight. And it's funny because these stairs are always one of the things that comes up for me when I think about the photography show we put together, because when Susan and she was part of a group of women that wanted to put together, I think it was a calendar originally maybe, that was the idea to do a fundraiser for the Center for Independent Living. And so we threw around a bunch of different ideas, and we kind of went back and forth about it. And finally, we decided that these women that were part of this group were really big contributions to the community. They were smart. They were doing great things. And so we wanted to do a set of portraits to kind of give a sense of how powerful they were. And it was a lot of, I was and still teach at the Miami Ad School, but at the time I was the director of photography over there at the school, and we had it on South Beach. So after the first portrait that I got together to do, I decided it would be really a great opportunity for my students to be able to be a part of the project. And so instead of limiting it just to my own creativity, I thought it would be a great teaching tool for them, and also just a really good way to sort of understand people with disabilities. And so that's kind of how the project started, and it grew and grew and grew, and we did it in Miami Beach, and then we did it again in Los Angeles and New York. And really, the project is about how wonderful these women are, and you really get a sense of that through the pictures. So there's some of my photography in there. There's some of students' photography, and other photographers now from all over the country have participated in the project. And I am always kind of blown away. Like I said, when I see these stairs, I never really thought much about stairs until I did the project. And then it seemed like everywhere we went to take pictures, because we tried to do it at the beach, and we did them all over the place, we would run into the stairs. And so I kind of saw that, now I see that as a symbol for, overcoming things and being able to sort of, pull yourself. There were women in the group that were responsible for making sure that everything was accessible, and that was a big deal. That's a very big deal. So these stairs have always kind of been like a sort of a symbol to me now, ever since I did this story about all these women. But I think the most important thing is that you have to or it's important for us to include everybody, make things accessible for everybody. And what I really found out, and I learned a lot about disabilities during this time, was that in other countries, they don't have ramps. We had women in our project that specifically came here to America because, for instance, they had ways to get up the steps at the colleges, and they wanted to get an education. But for example, we had a woman from India, and that wasn't really a possibility for her because they had no way for her to get up the stairs. So I think that we can be proactive in accommodating everybody, and we also have to realize how important that is for us here in America, because they're trying to take funding away from people with disabilities, and we really need to take a stand for that as well. I think this is something that's really, really important. But in terms of the pictures, I hope you guys will come over and have a look at them, and I hope it will change the way you view people with disabilities, and you'll see how powerful they really are and all the awesome things that they do and contribute to us as a whole in our communities. And that's really what I want you to see through these pictures and understand. And I hope that you enjoy the show and that you'll come check it out and read the biographies next to them as well, because they'll tell you the story about each of the women that are in the photographs. So I think that's a really important part too. So kind of take your time and walk through it and look at them all and read the great stories, and I hope you enjoy it. Does anybody have any questions, by the way, or anything you want to ask? No?
Freaking me out, Jenny. No, it's wonderful. I think that you have to see, maybe we should have had you walk there first to then hear about it, to then go over there. But
Yeah.
It is really, I think it really is for me in my own language liturgy, as I said. I mean, it is your craft and your way to express yourself. And so to be able to share the Bema with you and to share the synagogue with your vision and with your students' vision, we all have different abilities. We all have differing abilities. Look around this room. Some we can see and some we can't see. And we all have beauty. And I think sometimes it takes looking through a different lens, metaphorically and actually, to be able to see that beauty. So thank you for bringing that to our minds. And Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Karen has put together within our prayer books, prayer pamphlets, you can find the words to the song When You Believe. And this very much thematically aligns with exactly what I believe Ginny has brought to us and what all of our differing abilities bring into our lives. When you believe.
Many nights we prayed with no proof anyone could hear. In our hearts a hopeful song we barely understood. Now we are not afraid, although we know there's much to fear. We were moving mountains long before we knew we could. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. In this time of fear, when prayer so often proved in vain, hope seemed like a summer bird too swiftly flown away. Yet now I'm standing here with heart so full I can't explain. Seeking faith and speaking words I never thought I'd say. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. You will when you believe. Ashir Adonai ki gaoga. Ashir Adonai ki gaoga. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nachita v'chastecha amzugavta. Nachita v'chastecha amzugavta. Ashira, Ashira, Ashira. Ashira Ladonai ki gaoga. Ashira Ladonai ki gaoga. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nachita v'chastecha amzugavta. Nachita v'chastecha amzugavta. Ashira, Ashira, Ashira. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to kill. Who knows what miracles you can achieve when you believe? Somehow you will. Now you will. You will when you believe. You will when you believe.
Beautiful. This is also Shabbat Shirah, the special Shabbat when tomorrow when we read Torah, we will kind of receive the Michamocha. We will receive in the Torah this portion where the words of the Torah are written as if the waves are coming together. When you unroll the Torah, you'll see the Hebrew come together like my fingers are right now. A special trope, the words of the Michamocha, I include and invite all of you to come join us tomorrow morning for Morning Minyan, where we will be chanting, Karen will be chanting with a special trope, the words of Michamocha. And this is the parsha where we receive that, the reason for this beautiful anthem. Our thoughts turn now to those who are in need of healing, those in our community, and those in this very room who could use some extra strength right about now. So I ask that if you are sharing the name of someone and thinking of someone at this time, that you please rise, and as my hand passes where you are standing, if you will share their name aloud. Jim? Scott?
Sherry Mountfield, Lori Lembeck,
With all of those names, we join together in our prayer packet for the words of Heal Us Now.
Rephaenu Adonai v'nirafe, Hoshienu v'nivashea, El karov lechol korov, akarov lireavisho. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to once again be whole. Refana, oh please heal us now. Refuat ha-nefesh, refuat ha-guf, refuat shelema, heal us now, heal us now. Hoshia et amecha, uvarech et nachalatecha, Ureem benaseem ad haolam, Mishberach avotenu, Mishberach imotenu, Ana Adonai Hoshiana. We pray for healing of our people. We pray for healing of the land and peace for every race and nation, every child, every woman, every man. Refana, oh please heal us now. Refuat ha-nefesh, refuat ha-guf, refuat shelema, elna refana. Oh, please heal us now. Refuat ha-nefesh, refuat ha-guf, refuat shelema, heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now.
It is my honor to now invite up close friend and godfather of my son, Todd Gordon, a member of the Camp Coleman Camp Committee, to open the Ark. I invite you to rise in body and in spirit as we turn to page 282 for Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו ושכינה תוזו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו. כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, those in our families and in our lives who we wish were sitting next to us tonight, those who we wish were sitting next to us at dinner and at breakfast and in bed, those who are still very much a part of us but who we miss so dearly. We turn to page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love and hope and dream, to be and to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, and your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. This week in our congregation, we are thinking of the following two names, Gladys Cowan and Marvell Koffler. And we add to those two names those who are observing a Kaddish, those who we are remembering in Kaddish. I ask that you stand as your loved one's name is read aloud. Abe Bissell, Eshel Bronston, Carola Kane, George Cohen, Paula M. Dreyfus, Maurice Eichel, Nelson Elghart, Sylvia R. Ellis, Gussie Elterman, Matthew Eskow, Alfred Feinberg, Sally P. Feldman, Bernard Fedderson, Benjamin Fisher, Joy Freed, Erwin Gartenbaum, Harry Geist, Henry Gildred, Harry J. Gitlin, Robert Gold, Monty A. Goldberg, Max F. Goldstein, Fred A. Goldstein, Mary Goldstein, Morton R. Hirsch, James Holt, Harry O. Cantor, Dorothy Kaplan, Reuben Kaplan, Adrian Keller, Rose Klein, Sylvia Kopman, Hortense C. Korach, Donald S. Levine, Essie Levine, Seth Levine, Sally Litvak, Sarah Narrow, Hannah P. Newhouse, Abe Polt, Robert Pritikin, Edward Ryder, Robert Richter, Lillian M. Reisner, Edith Hodes Rosen, Louis Rosenthal, Gloria Jean Schwartz, Charlotte Sorota, Frank A. Simons, David Solomon, George J. Stryker, Ida H. Sussberg, Lily Titleman, Mireya Tomas, Philip S. Trost, Harry N. White. If I mispronounced your loved one's name or you'd like to add a name, I ask that you please rise at this point and share that name aloud.
Maria Leon.
With all of those names and the names that we hold in our hearts, I ask that we please turn to page 294 as we recite Kaddish Yatom. Please rise if you are able. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Omei Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, B'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories forever be a blessing and a lesson for how we can live our lives. And let us all say, Amen. I invite the congregation to please come join in the middle of the sanctuary as we offer prayers for Kiddush and Motzi.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'chata ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ava uvratzon hinechaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat, 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 mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz atei avon. Shabbat shalom. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. Oh, say shalom. Let's sing, come on. Oh, say shalom. hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom.